We're going to reconvene to open session. On a motion by Trustee Orloff and a second by Trustee Wiltermuth, the board voted 3-2 to approve Dr. Haley's 2017 evaluation, with Trustees Nahn and Brown voting no. Item 11A, board member reports. Trustee Nahn.
At the last school board meeting, we voted on a change in board policy on 504s, and I asked the superintendent why this was coming up, since it was a 2-year-old template from California School Boards Association. And the superintendent first said that sometimes it takes the district time to get around to the updating the templates. This template was adopted pretty much as it is. But then he said it was also in relation to a letter from the Office of Civil Rights at the U.S. Department of Education, which was a surprise, and because I would have assumed that that letter would have been introduced with the board policy change to put it into context. And so I asked the superintendent if the board could see that letter, and he said yes, if it was something that could be made public, which I thought was curious because the board sees things that are not always public. So the next day I sent an email and requesting that the board be able to see this letter, and I think within a day or two the superintendent sent that to us, which I thank him for. But I was disappointed that he had not shared this information with the board on vote, since it was clearly related to the change in the 504s. And at that same board meeting, the superintendent said that it was not related to a complaint on 504s, but it clearly says in the letter that it was related to a single complaint. And so listening to the letter and going over it with my assistant, we observed that there were 15 corrective measures that the district agreed to take in its voluntary cooperation in this agreement to resolve this problem. And the letter stated that there were concerns over compliance and that these would be required, and that the Office of Civil Rights would follow up to make sure that they were complied with, and there were deadlines put on there. So as far as I can recall, by August 31st, the district is required to adopt new policies and procedures on 504s, which includes notifying parents and students of their rights and putting down procedures for appeals and training of staff, including administrators and educators. So it's pretty extensive. And I think the lack of transparency around this, that the board didn't have this context when we were asked to vote on this policy change, is disappointing. I think that the effect, whatever the superintendent's motivation of withholding this letter from the board before the vote, the effect was to prevent a discussion of this systematic problem in this special education program by the board, and for the public to be part of that discussion. And this was a serious investigation, and the resolution agreement hopefully will address the problems for future students who request this legally required accommodation. I know what it feels like to be denied accommodations, and I feel my heart breaks for those unknown number of students. I know at least one who were denied the 504 services. And I look forward to hearing from the superintendent when the new policies and procedures are created, that this is something that the board should be given before the next board meeting so that we can discuss this. This should be something on the agenda. This should not be something that's concealed from the board or the public. That these are the most vulnerable children in our district, and to deny them these legally required services is wrong. And we state numerous times that we believe in equal access, but time and time again, we are confronted with the difference between speech and action. So I'm making a formal request that this item be put on the board agenda for our next meeting, and that the superintendent rethink his commitment to transparency and provide the board with these new policies and procedures and his plan for implementing the scheduled training and notification of rights for parents. Thank you.
Well, we can address that right now. First of all,
I think,
not all of your comments were accurate.
hey Rob, I think the best time to do that would be during your report, if
Well,
we could.
I would just like to point out, well, I'll defer to the board president. I'd like to address some things right now because I think there were some inaccuracies that were said, and then I think we can move on. But it's at your discretion, board president.
I was going to jump in and actually point out what you had up on the screen a second ago, which is that they didn't complete their investigation or reach any conclusions. It says that in the letter. So your assessment of the letter is completely inaccurate, and we're
that's not true. That's not
It's
true.
in the letter.
Actually, we have it up right now, so I'll make it clear, and anybody, and heck, I can ask the Office of Civil Rights to come here, just like we invited CSBA to come here, and heck, we could have OSHA come here. Just because somebody makes a complaint doesn't make it true. So the Office of Civil Rights did not look at any of our policies. The Office of Civil Rights did not look at any of our procedures. The Office of Civil Rights did not look at any of our handbooks. The Office of Civil Rights never spoke to any single district employee, whether teacher, principal, assistant superintendent, or anyone. They conducted no investigation of the district. They listened to the complaint that they got from the parent in regards to a student. They contacted the district, offered the district the opportunity to resolve it. This is a standard resolution, a standard thing, and actually very easy for us to implement. We're like, well, that's easy. It's time for us to update our policies. So we've already accomplished that at the last school board meeting. And training on Section 504 is a good thing to do at any time. So sure, if that's all that we have to do, so that we don't have to spend district time and resources on this complaint, we could have chosen to participate in the investigation. We could have chosen to make this a more antagonistic process. But I do recall at times, Trustee Nunn, you saying from this board table that we shouldn't take that approach. So we did not. So
I agree.
we have one amicable. I waited to not interrupt. First of all, this letter didn't come until I believe May 23rd. We didn't even know if we would be able to get the policies on the June board agenda, but we worked hard to do that, so we were able to do that. And it's not clear that this letter is necessary for that. This was a district agreement, quite frankly, and it also highlights the fact that when we do share certain things, they're inappropriately used. And inappropriate conclusions are drawn, like we're hearing literally tonight. Right. And it impugns the credibility of the teachers and the school district administrators in this district. And it's tiresome.
Talking about you.
Well, you know, I don't teach in every single classroom in the district. I'm not principal of every single school, and I'm not assistant superintendent. I'm not student services director, okay? So again, when you make false statements like this, it's I think time that we start correcting them on the spot.
What statement is false?
OCR did not investigate this school district. OCR received a complaint That's it. They listened to the complaint, they reached out to the district, they said, well,
And then they
we
said
can
they
do an
were concerned
investigation.
about
Again, you know
compliance.
what? I think we need to have turn sharing, okay? Instead of doing an investigation, they said, well, here's how you can resolve this. We said, fine, and we agreed to that. That is a very different characterization than you're doing, okay? And I know you do not like the superintendent. That's clear. But when you attack the superintendent, you're attacking everybody that works for and with the
That's not
superintendent.
true.
It is.
Well,
It is true. It is true. And we're all tired.
and this is a classic example of it. So we've already arranged to do the training through Sonoma County Office of Education, and we're looking forward to it.
Thank you. Trustee Brown.
Pass.
Trustee Wiltermuth.
Had the opportunity to go and tour the TAG building again. That was after last meeting, right?
Yeah.
It's amazing to see how, it's coming along. It's amazing. I drove by it today, how much has even changed in 2 weeks. And excited to see what John Reed looks like now after he posted those photos, because we got to see that as well. And got to check out the property on the back. Haven't been there in, gosh, probably 7 years. So lots of great things happening in our district. And I went to Disneyland and I had a great time. I almost in my ears tonight, but
Trustee Orloff.
I attended the tour of those 3 sites and share Trustee Wiltermuth's, enjoy it. I guess it's just
Enjoyment?
incredible to me that we've gotten this far along. It's too bad not all 5 of us were at that tour. I think it would have answered some questions in regard to some of the things going on at these 3 sites. There's good things going on at these 3 sites.
I also, are you done?
Yeah,
Okay.
I went on vacation too.
I also went on the tour, and I had never been to the Labatt property other than that one time that I thought it was the district office to sign my kid up, and it wasn't. So walking into the rehabbed rooms that the maintenance and operations had rehabbed, and then seeing what it looked like even a month ago was amazing. The maintenance and operations, I know they work a lot over the summer, and they really do a good job. The buildings look fantastic, well, the ones that they've done. They're getting to the other ones, but it looks fantastic. John Reed looks fantastic. TAG building looks fantastic. It's an exciting summer. So thank you, maintenance and operations.
Yeah.
Superintendent Haley.
Well, on my report, we need to move.
That looks long. That looks really long.
Yes.
Do you have tissue?
So it's my honor to recognize our outgoing Chief Business Official, Ann Barron, whom I've had the pleasure of working with for the past 7 years. When I was hired by the school board in early April of 2011, the next day I had a meeting with Wade Roach, who was Deputy Superintendent and Chief Business Official at the time. Wade and I had crossed paths a little bit. We were not unknown to each other, and I had spoken with him several times before that about the district. And then he said to me, well, Rob, I hope you didn't take the job based upon me staying, because I have some news. I'm leaving to go to Napa Valley Unified. So I said, wow, okay. But he said, you know what, it's going to be fine, because my Director of Fiscal Services, Ann Barron's really already been doing a lot of the work. And I couldn't, Rob, there's no one else you should even interview. You should just meet with her and see if you get along, and you will, and you should hire her to be CBO. That's the recommendation that you should make. At the time, I hadn't officially started, and so I did get that opportunity to meet with Ann, and we've been meeting and figuring things out ever since. It's been a remarkable 7 years. Now I'm going to take a brief pause in my remarks so that I can allow a community member who has attended more board meetings than probably any community member I could imagine, Debbie LeBoy, who's also been willing to serve on our various committees, and she wanted to make sure she had an opportunity from her perspective to talk about it.
Good evening, Board President Farrell, board members, Superintendent Dr. Haley, district officers, and audience members. My name is Debbie LaBoy. As a parent of this school district and a citizen of Rohnert Park, I would like to share my appreciation for Chief Business Official Ann Barron. I've been attending school board meetings for over 4 years now, and I have had several questions for the district over the years, including tonight. Each time I emailed Ann, I received a detailed answer in a timely manner. I serve on the bond and parcel tax oversight committees in which Ann carefully provided the necessary information to keep our committee up to date, and she provided the answers to all our questions. Ann is a voice of reason, and she took her job seriously. She conducted herself in a professional and kind manner. Thank you, Ann, for your many hours, days, and years of service to our district. I want to wish you all the best in your well-deserved retirement. You will be missed. Thank you.
Now, as I understand it, there's at least one trustee who'd like to give remarks or more, so I'll turn it back over to Board President Farrell, and you can call on trustees.
Well,
Yes.
and then wrote a speech.
Well, I wrote some bullet points, but, you know, Dan, you and I basically started together. You're my first budget after I was elected. And I really ran because of poor budgeting in the system. That was my biggest concern when I ran. I'm going to go down memory lane a little bit. Don't tear up, I hope I don't, because we've been in it together that long. At the time we both started, this district was in negative status. Our budget, in my opinion, and I think probably in yours, was in disarray. We were closing schools, we were discontinuing programs, we were laying off teachers. And at that time, our bargaining groups had just agreed to take a reduction in pay. A horrible thing to have to ask for. They were, I think we can both agree, pretty challenging times. We had SCO intervention. Barbara Tapman attended every meeting and had comments for a long time. And it, you know, how do you right shit like this? You know, we really got back to basics. When you close schools and you discontinue programs, that's the short-term answer to budget reduction. Because when you close schools and you reduce programs, you lose teachers, you lose students because they decide they're going to go somewhere else where those programs are. And we have an unbalanced community here. You know, you continue to reduce jobs, you know, like programs. I mean, no one wants to come here to work. But frankly, I'm shocked you stayed. You know, I don't know that these things were understood by, you know, the previous administration. I mean, I remember attending school board meetings ahead of 2010. And with school closures and program discontinuance, you know, there is a lot of community outcry because parents told this board that they were going to leave. I don't think anyone believed them. Guess what? We did. And they really did when they took away middle school sports. I mean, that was like the kick in the butt that got kids to leave even earlier than they typically did. So we came up with a really simple plan when that first budget came. We wanted to, our goals were to increase enrollment and to increase test scores. It sounds pretty simple, but, you know, we were hopeful that by doing that, we would be able, and bringing back schools and bringing back programs, that we would entice people to stay. We created curriculum differentiated all around the district. K-8 program, year-round program, different pathways at the high school, more AP offerings. We tried to do things at every location we could. So within a short amount of time, we had programs reinstated, we had schools that reopened, and we were able to bring back salaries of our employees. Very important thing to do. So now what's happening? We've had 4 years of salary increases across the board. Our enrollment has been flat, but if you remember that first year, today we were supposed to be at 4,900 students. We're at 5,900 students. We've increased test scores and we've increased opportunities. And when I say increased opportunities, we've had teachers become assistant principals. We've had them become principals. We've had other job openings that have been available to people. We've been able to, when we reopened this school, if someone wanted to come here and work, they were given that opportunity. They wanted to be in a K-8 atmosphere, they had that opportunity. And we've done a lot of winning over the last 7 years. And what I'd like to say is, we win as a team and we suffer as a team. And there was a lot of suffering. And, if you refer back to Simon and Garfunkel, and feeling groovy, slow down, you move too fast. We were doing a lot of fast movement in those days, and it was very hard on a lot of people. And our teachers, it was hard. It was hard on us as board members. It was hard on our staff. But we felt that to avoid state takeover and get back to positive status, we really didn't have much choice. You've led a great team, and it has been a team. I don't want to single you out because I don't think you would like that, and I know that you know that it's been a team effort from the bottom up. We've all worked our butts off to get to where we're at. We're in better shape, as I've said, than most districts in this county now. We were one of 2 in this county in negative status at that time, the other being Cloverdale, if you remember. In the state, I think at that time there were only 13 state districts out of, over 800 that were in negative status. That's horrible. We've turned it around. I credit a lot of what's happened with the team you've assembled, with the employees that have been working with you, Dr. Haley's leadership. I'm happy you're retiring. You can now slow down. I'm sure that Robert will call on you from time to time. I hope to see you, every so often. I ran
For
into
the
you.
Fairfield Osborne Preserve ribbon cutting.
But, I just wanted to, since our time here has over, pretty much been the same. I know you're an employee before I got on the board, but your job as CBO and my time on the board have been identical. And I just want to thank you for everything you've done here. Thank you.
How do you follow that?
I know, right? You follow that.
Right. I just want to say thank you because, as we all know, it's in 2011, this district was looking a whole lot different. And I can't even tell you, as a parent who had kids in the district, this place is falling apart all the way around us. And I was one of those parents that came and spoke to the superintendent and tried to make changes that she didn't want to. So I'm just grateful for people like Ann and Rob and our teachers and our staff that have made the difference, because we were going downhill fast, and we've made the difference in all these kids' lives and in our community, and we're making it a better place. And I'm going to miss you tremendously. I want to go to a Giants game with you. You set it up. But again, thank you for everything you've done.
Thank you.
Congratulations. Many, many years of finance work. Having been in that career and left, it's a whole different stress level the next year. Although I created a different stress level for myself. But I hope that you'll have hobbies and success and enjoy your children.
3.
Children, okay, 3. So thanks for all you've done for the district, and I hope you have a wonderful retirement and enjoy those grandkids. I just spent a weekend with some of my grandkids and I'm tired. 8 baseball games in 2 days. Anyway, so well-deserved and congratulations and best wishes to you.
Thank you. Christina, do you wish to say anything?
Thank you, and I think everyone knows who's been on a board that sometimes staff can make the board look good through dedication, hard work, and so many other qualities that you've exhibited. You've always been a calm, reasonable presence at school board meetings, and I wish you well in your retirement.
Thank you. So I'd like to second everything everybody said. Thank you for your poise and your patience and your knowledge when answering all of our questions and your hard work. You will definitely be missed.
Okay. In searching for words today, I came across something that I want to read. It's dated April 25, 2007. I wasn't going to put my glasses on, but I think it'll make it easier. Dear Dr. Grankovich, please accept this letter and accompanying application, resume, and reference letters as my expression of interest in the Director of Business and Fiscal Services position at the Cotati Roanoke Park Unified School District. I have the experience and education you are seeking for the position, with over 20 years of experience in accounting and finance. For the past 3 years, I have been the business manager for the Twin Hills Union School District, a nearby K district with approximately 930 ADA and declining enrollment. Your district also has declining enrollment and is facing closing another school in the next few years. While my current district is much smaller, the challenges are similar: how to maintain quality programs and improve student achievement with less funding. In my current position, I am responsible for all accounting and financial reporting for the district, including the external audit, and supervise the district office staff. I prepare and then monitor the budget for all funds, including 2 charter schools. I work closely with the site administration and charter school directors to develop the budgets and prepare updates throughout the year. The programs are very different, and I must tailor what I do to the knowledge and experience of each site administrator. Having begun my career with one of the Big 4 accounting firms, I am able to communicate well with the auditors, prepare the required disclosures, and maintain the appropriate level of documentation. In addition to my public accounting experience, I have directed or performed internal audits ranging from pizza franchise operators to real estate operating partners. I appreciate the importance of internal audit, internal control, and am often able to work with other staff members to improve procedures. Prior to becoming CBO, I spent 10 months as the district payroll personnel tech. I was responsible for implementing position control in the CECC software, which I remember, used by all Sonoma County districts, and implemented the district's Section 125 plan. The Sonoma County school districts will be implementing new accounting software in the next few years. I have the experience to support the staff through this often stressful change and to work with them to implement the accompanying changes and procedures. I have experience with helping staff to find the benefit in new systems, most often in better access to information and streamlining of routine tasks. My current district is completing several construction projects using bond money and state funds. I negotiated a $700,000 capital lease that closed in December 2006 to provide the funds to complete the projects. I took the lead on refinancing of $2.9 million in bonds successfully completed this past January, which will save the district taxpayers over $175,000. During the year, I've worked closely with the district's food service staff to reduce the program's operating deficit while improving compliance with the procedures required by the state. Before coming to the district, I worked for a number of years in the private sector, gaining experience in all aspects of accounting and administration. I am also able to draw on my experience in the areas of risk management, food service, and transportation. I managed larger groups of employees of varying backgrounds, including the information technology staff. And I learned the fundamental lesson that the role of accounting and administration is to support the mission of the larger organization. You are seeking candidates with education equivalent to 2 years of college or business college. I have a bachelor's degree from the University of Illinois majoring in economics. I minored in accounting, completing over 20 semester hours of coursework, as much as an accounting major. I then went on to get my master's degree in accounting from the same university. While I have not worked in a unified school district, I learned new subjects quickly. I recently completed the FICMAT CBO Mentor Project, which has given me a bank of resources to call on in addition to the information conveyed in the course materials. One of my strengths is my willingness to ask questions. I understand that in public education, it is critical that we comply with various rules and regulations. I look forward to hearing from you soon. Thank you for your consideration. I would say our school district got all of that and more. I was literally, when I read that, it almost seemed eerie. You've done a lot for this school district. We've all heard it described. On a personal note, rarely do you get the opportunity to work with somebody you're completely compatible with and have complete trust in. And I've had that with you from, I think, that first meeting. At our last administrative council meeting, which you were not at because you asked for permission to go to some county office meeting, we talked about you as a team, and I said that I'm losing a little piece of my heart. So you've earned your retirement. For that, you need to come get your plaque.
Well, I tried preparing remarks, and I didn't really succeed. Hearing all of you, I think I have a couple of comments. One, reading that application, I've often thought that I could not have designed my career path better to be suited to this job if I had tried, which I did not. I kind of fell into schools, but the diverse things I've done, I've called on so many of them. It's really was fortunate. Several people have asked why I stayed. I heard that a number of times, and I think when Dr. Haley joined the district, I really felt like he had a vision that things could be different and better. I, in the corporate sector, got to work through near bankruptcy and making cuts, and the lesson I learned is you cannot cut your way to success. You can cut, and sometimes you have to, but that won't give you a turnaround. And Dr. Haley had the vision of changing things, and with the board at his back, at our backs, saying we want these goals of increasing enrollment and improving student achievement, I really believed that it could be done. I didn't think it'd be easy, and it wasn't. But everyone pulling together throughout the district, we did it. And for me, it has been so rewarding to be part of it. It's really ending my career on a high note. Being part of this has really meant something. I will miss all of you. I will miss everybody. But I won't be a stranger. I will come back. I will be offended if I'm not invited to the opening of the TAG building. But I really wish this district the best. I see only great things on the horizon, and don't be terribly surprised if you see me again as a grandparent. Probably around high school time. So thank you all. This means a lot.
All right, and with that, our meeting is adjourned. Everybody have a nice summer.